There are many reasons you might want to learn Arabic. You might have a family or religious connection, you might love traveling in the area, or you might want to make a boatload of money. Because, get this, Arabic is considered a critical language by the US government, and learning the language could earn you some very big bucks indeed. Whatever your reason for learning Arabic, you're probably wondering, how hard is it actually? Arabic is a very exciting language to learn, but let's be real, it can feel a bit intimidating at first. So is it too tough to tackle? Well, in this video I will tell you exactly what is easy, what is challenging, and why learning Arabic might be easier than you think, so you can stop worrying and jump right in. Arabic writing is one thing that can keep people away from even getting started with the language, which is a real tragedy. But is it really so mysterious and difficult? I've learned Arabic myself. I lived in the Middle East for a number of years, so I'm going to tell you it is not at all difficult. These weirdly beautiful shapes, they're not hieroglyphics, they're not anything to do with rocket science. There's just 28 letters. That's 2 more than English, and they're all made with 5 basic shapes. Now, like many things in languages and life, it can be a bit tricky at first to wrap your head around because it's just unfamiliar. But you very quickly figure out that what seems difficult in this adapting writing is simply because letters have different forms depending on where they go in the word, beginning, middle, or end.
Long and down. The beginning of the word is like this, and there, in the middle, at the end,
So here's the thing, Arabic writing style is always connected, but if you write cursive with English, it's exactly the same concept. The biggest difference is that you write from right to left, so mastering it is going to be a little bit challenging, but also very beautiful and a very rewarding experience. If you're curious, here's an excellent guide you can check out later. My name is Olly Richards, by the way. I'm a linguist and an author. I've even written books to help you learn Arabic. 20 languages in this series. And I just love helping people like you figure out which language you want to learn and helping you actually do it. So let's keep going with the good stuff. The way that you communicate an idea in Arabic is a bit different from how you communicate that idea in English because the structure of the language is different. For example, Kiki went to the river. That sentence that I'm sure you say every day. In Arabic, you have to switch the words around. Something like, she went, Kiki, to the river. But here's the thing, although modern standard Arabic is a verb, subject, object language, it's not a rule, and sometimes word order can be quite different. This is because Arabic has flexible word order, so you can even rearrange words to English style, subject, verb, object, and still make perfect sense. I, you, he, she, this, that, pronouns, they can be interesting in Arabic. They're easy enough to learn, but then they quickly get quite confusing because you see Arabic pronouns let you get very, very specific. You start off just like any other language that has gender, so there are different words for masculine and feminine things, and there's a plural version too. But then it gets interesting because Arabic has a special pronoun for when you're speaking to only 2 people. It's called the dual pronoun, and it's like saying the 2 of you, or the 2 of them, or both of you. In other words, duals refers to exactly 2, while plurals refer to 3 or more. What do you think happens with possessive pronouns? You know, mine, his, hers, and so on.
هذا بيت. This is a house. Let's add the suffix e. هذا بيتي. This is my house.
Yep, that red word glued to the noun is the pronoun, and the same thing happens with verbs and prepositions. I'm so glad that English keeps all of their words separate, like 2 of my favorite words, like and subscribe. I mean, they're easy to understand, right? And you know exactly what to do. Right, time to crank things up a notch. Arabic pronunciation is notoriously difficult, and when you listen to these strange and unusual sounds, the language can seem quite bewildering if you're coming from a native English background.
Ein. It's not a vowel, yeah? Let's start off by saying it's not a vowel. It's not ein. It's not like the German ein, zwei, no. It's ein, ein. Not Iraq, not Iraq, no. It's ein.
It is no European language, that's for sure. Your mouth needs to get used to some strange new things, or maybe it's your throat.
El Amerique, ein, ko.
And it's important to get it right because tiny pronunciation changes can alter the meaning of your entire sentence. But honestly, most Arabic sounds won't be new to you, and only a few will take a lot of practice. And here's something nice to make you smile. Every word in Arabic is spelled exactly as it sounds, and the spelling will give you the pronunciation. So there is no scary guessing game like English or French. And a great place to learn Arabic pronunciation or Arabic script or the entire Arabic language is right here at Story Learning, because we teach languages in an easy and fun way that is designed especially for a adventurous people like you. And it works because you already learned your home language with stories, right? Well, story learning just is an extension of that. It takes this concept of learning through stories and it teaches you new languages, again, through stories, but adapted for a more adult audience that you can engage with and is more fun. It is the most natural way to learn language. And if you're curious about this and would like to learn any more, there's a QR code up here on the screen that you can scan, and that will take you to my free story learning kit, which is full of worksheets, masterclasses, explanations of how the method works. You can also click the link down below that will take you to the exact same place. So click that out, check it out, and now back to the video.
الولايات المتحدة. I'm doing it too harsh. المتحدة.
Here come the verbs, my friend. Now, I love this part because Arabic has a unique and amazing way of building words where you get dozens of words after learning just one. You could even say the language is centered around verbs, and the magical secret to a word's meaning is all in the root. You see, nearly every word in Arabic is based on a combination of 3 letters that together form a root, and each 3-letter cluster has a certain type of meaning. Take a root like DRS, s, for example. These 3 letters put together carry the idea of learning. Now, if you add different consonants and vowels to this root, you get different words, but they're all to do with the idea, the concept of learning. Here's another one, the HBB, h, b, b letter combination. Now, this one carries the meaning of love. Yeah, you know this word, habibi, don't you? Well, h, b, b. It's the root sounds that make the word, and other words relating to love and affection. And you can even find nouns and adjectives with this root. It all depends on the arrangement. Cool thing is, once you know the root word, you will start seeing patterns and recognizing so many other words. It really is quite ingenious. Also, the verb conjugation system is quite easy. There are just 2 main tenses, the past and the simple present. Verbs have regular conjugation and they are changed a little bit for 3 persons and 3 numbers. Remember, modern standard Arabic, which is the one that's taught in most places, is going to be harder than the dialects of individual countries when it comes to verbs. Bear that in mind and it will be a little bit less stressful. But some things are about to get broken. There's a certain phenomenon in Arabic that makes it unusual. Ready for this? Plurals don't just come in 2 or many, masculine or feminine. They also come in 2 fantastical flavors, sound and broken. Now, sound plurals are easy. They're the regular type, and you just add a suffix to the singular form. But to make a broken plural, you've got to change the pattern of vowels inside the words, literally by breaking the word up. You might even add or erase letters in the word. Quite interesting, eh? Now, there are many patterns of broken plurals in Arabic, and to really get to grips with this feature in a deeper way, you need tons and tons of exposure to the language. So get mingling, go to the country, meet the people, listen to the sounds, watch TV, whatever you got to do. Arabic words have special characters called cases, and the system of case endings is where things really start to give you a bit of a headache. At least they do for me. Unless you already speak a language with cases, like German, of course, in which case you'll get it in no time. An Arabic word can have 1 of 3 different endings depending on its function in the sentence. In English, we use word order to show who does what, but Arabic has kind of free word order, so we have to attach function clues to the actual words. The only English words with case are pronouns. See what I mean? But Arabic nouns, adjectives, names, and numerals all have case. Usually it will be a specific vowel attached to the end of the word, either a U, A, or I. The good news is you don't have to even really think about case endings in spoken Arabic because they've pretty much disappeared from the dialects. You only need to learn them so that you can write. Arabic uses a type of alphabet called abjad, which is a totally different concept to our own alphabet. An abjad doesn't have vowels, which means when you write Arabic the natural way, you don't write any of the vowels. Of course, this makes reading the language pretty hard at first because you need to kind of know the word in order to be able to guess how it sounds, kind of backward, right? But it's only short vowels that are a problem. For longer vowels like the ah and the e and so on, Arabic uses these 3 consonants to indicate that sound. Short vowels do exist in speech, of course, you just can't write them. So it sounds pretty outrageous, but don't panic. Luckily, beginners have the options of using what are called diacritics, which are 3 little marks that go above or below a word to show you where the short vowel should be. Take this letter here, which sounds like b. Depending on which diacritic we add, it will be ba, bi, bu. So reading Arabic texts that have these markers for vowels is actually quite easy and even fun. The problem is that most Arabic writing simply doesn't have them. You're mostly only going to find them in books for learners. I mean, my book of Arabic short stories, we use diacritics throughout. You probably can't see this, but the diacritics on everything. The reason for that is because it shows you how to pronounce the words that you're actually reading. It's not about guessing, though, fundamentally. Once you start recognizing words you've learned, you'll just know what the vowel is because you know the actual word. It's strange that way, but you get used to it, especially if you keep seeing words in context, and that's the point of reading.
Many of you don't know Arabic. That's okay. My job is to make you feel bad about that, but also to tell you it's easy to learn.
Luckily, Arabic also has some very helpful things for the learner and for native speakers as well. Have you ever heard of the Franco alphabet or the chat alphabet? It's a way of writing Arabic using Latin letters.
كشخة كشخة إيه لا.
But I only want you to use this in the very beginning. When I lived in Egypt, I was actually texting my friends quite a bit using that because it's so much easier, and they actually use it themselves. But you just want to use it at the beginning, and certainly not as a substitute for learning the language. If you're keen to see more about how it works, no worries, I got you. There are some great tips on my blog. I'll put a link in the description. So in the end, what do we think about Arabic? Hard or easy? Well, the Foreign Service Institute says it will take you 88 weeks. I think that's bullish. It's going to take a lot longer than Spanish, for example, that's for sure. But if you learn a dialect like Egyptian, which was mine, it's going to be a lot easier than modern standard Arabic. In my opinion, Arabic is both easy and hard. It really depends what you're looking at, what you pay attention to. But I promise you one thing, if you are dedicated and you put in the work and you practice, just like anything, it should take you certainly under 2 years to become conversational. I found in my case that by practicing a lot, speaking the language when I was in Egypt, within 6 to 12 months, I was quite confident. And if you go and live in an Arabic country like I did, you'll be speaking way sooner.
يا شوية بس نتكلم عربي.
شوية بس. أهلا وسهلا. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
كيف الحال؟
الحمد لله.
مساك طيب.
طيب.
وين رحت؟ قطر وين رحت؟
قطر يعني في بحر في عزبة.
رحت عزبة؟ ودوه عزبة ربعنا حلو.
If you're all fired up and ready to start sounding like that, well, you should definitely head over to my next video. It's all about TV shows you can watch to help you learn the language. I think you'll be very surprised to see which 4 shows there are, because there are only 4 that work.